Alright guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to be teaching you how to draft out a basic skirt block and a pencil skirt, right, from the same block. So please ensure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Alright, let's get started. You're going to be needing the following materials: your pattern paper, brown or white. You're going to be needing your marker pen. I got mine from the local market, so you can get yours as well. Your measuring tape, alright, and then your curve ruler, your short straight ruler, and also your long ruler. So now guys, you're going to be needing the following measurements: your skirt length measurement, your waist measurement, and your hip measurement. So guys, let us move over to start drafting. So I am going to be drawing a straight line like this, but if you trust that your paper, the edge of your paper is straight, you can just go ahead to use the edge, but I prefer to draw out my lines myself. So having drawn that line, I'm just going to go ahead to use the following measurements. My skirt length is 22, my waist is 28, and my hip is 37. So I went ahead to use my hip measurements. Okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. I divided my hip measurement by 2, and I have 18.5 here. I'm going to be placing it on my paper like this. So I'll be adding 2 inches allowance like this. So I'll have 20.5. Alright, so I'm going to be needing 1 inch for my zip side when I'm going to be drafting the back. So I'm marking it like this. So I divided 20.5 by 2 so that I will get half of the measurement. So this is what I have, 10.25. I'm just going to go ahead to mark my 10.25 like this, and then I'm going to take my long ruler and I will draw a straight line from top to bottom. From the top to bottom, guys. So this is what I'm doing right here. So I've gotten half of the paper because I'm going to be drafting the front and the back piece together. So remember I told you that my length measurement is 23. So I'm just going to be marking that 23. Alright, I would like to leave 1 inch allowance at the top like this. So I'm not starting my measurement from the edge of the paper, so I will just roll a straight line like this. So you can also do that as well. You'll be seeing why I would have to leave 1 inch at the top. So I went ahead to draw a straight line. So this is what I am going to be doing. Like this, I'm drawing a straight line from the bottom to the top, not really the top to the bottom. Alright, so my skirt length measurement is 23. So I have my 23 here, and I'm just going to be drawing a straight line like this. Please guys, ensure that your line is really straight. So this is what you have here. Alright, so I'm going to be touching this edge because my marker didn't enter before. Alright, so the next thing you're going to be doing is to note where your front is and where your back is. So this is my back side. I'm just going to be marking 1 inch downwards like this. So I'm going to be using my short ruler to draw a straight line connecting the dots. like this. So you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to connect the dots like this. Okay, carefully. You don't want to rush the process so that you won't make mistake. So this is my zip side and it is also my back piece. So this is it, guys. So working on my front piece, I'm going to be taking my waist measurement. My waist measurement is actually 28. I'm going to divide it by 4 with my tape, and I have 7. So you see that 7, I'm going to be marking it on my pattern paper like this, and I will do the same for the back. So 7, do we see that? This is 7. So from my waist to my hip is 8. So I'm just going to be marking 8 on both sides. So your waist to your hip is 8. I will go ahead to use my long ruler. So you need a long ruler, guys, when you're drafting out this pattern. So I will just connect from my front to my back like this. So you see how straight my line is. So you label here as your hip line on both sides so that you'll not be confused what the lines are about. Then this is your waist side. I'm just going to label with W, and H for your M line. That is actually called your M line. So now, having done that, the next thing I want to do is to place my hip measurement. Remember, my hip measurement is 37. So I'm going to be dividing 37 by 2. Alright. So I went ahead to divide it by 2 and then by 4 with my tape. So I have 9.25. I went ahead to mark out 9.25 for the back. So it happens that my back panel is actually the same thing. So this is it. I have 9.25 for my back. Okay, do we see that? So this is it. So I have 9.2 and 9.25. That's what I have on my tape. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my darts. This is what I'm doing. I'm taking my darts because my bust bar measurement is 7. I divided it by 2. It gave me 3.5. So I'm just going to be marking the 3.5 on both sides like this to get my darts. Do you see that? So on both dart leg, I'm going to be using ½ inch. Okay, half inch, which will give me 1. So ½ inch is also 0.5. I'm just going to be placing 0.5 on both sides. Alright, on both sides like this. So now before I draw out my darts, I want to get the length of my darts, the front length and the back length. For my front length, for my back length, I'm going to be using 5. Then for my front, I'm going to be using 4. So I'll just go ahead to mark 4. And then for my back, I told you before 5. So I'm just going to go ahead to mark 5. Alright, so I took my short ruler and I'm drawing a line from the midpoint first of all, like this, to touch that 5 inches. Then I'm just going to be drawing a slanted line like this from that ½ inch. Alright, so this is it. Then the other dart leg, I'm going to be doing the same. Alright, see that? So I'm going to move over to my front and draw a straight line from 4 inches down to my waistline like this, and I'm going to be drawing the bust dart legs. So you see, it's really easy. Ensure that you are replicating this process for your pattern as well, so that you would not make mistakes. Then remember, I used 1 inch. I'm going to be adding that 1 inch. Whatever you remove from your darts, whether 1.5, you're just going to be adding it so that the skirt would not be too tight. So this is what I have here. I'm going to be using my short ruler to draw a slanted line from my hip line down to my waistline, and I'm going to do the same for the front as well. See that this is slanted line. So the lines actually varies for everybody. Some person's hip will make the line different, but just ensure you are using the right measurement. So I replicated my hip measurement on my hemline. It's a basic block. We've not drafted out the pencil skirt yet, but just follow me carefully. So my back is actually the same. So maybe you want to leave 3 inches when you are starting the process, because I left 2 for mine. That's why my back is the same. So I'm just going to be drawing a straight line from the hem line down to the hip line on my front panel. So my back is already the same. So I'll be using my curve ruler to just blend up the line like this. So this is what I'm doing. I'm blending up the line so that you get that hip curve shape. So I will do the same for my front. Just blend the line so that I will have a sharp line. Alright, so that's why I'm doing this. Alright. So guys, this is your basic skirt block. It's really easy. It's not as difficult as you might think. So it is really easy, guys. So I'm going to be drawing out a pencil skirt from this. Alright, but before then, I would like to go down by 0.5 inch for my front panel. I like to sort of just slant the front of my skirt to give it a very good fit. So I went ahead to mark 0.5. Alright, so you'll notice that your back is kind of high because of your um, butt. So, and your front is a bit lower, slightly lower. So for the back, I went ahead with 0.5. Okay, I went ahead with 0.5 for the back. So this is it. I'm just going to draw a slanted line to touch the waist side. Okay, so this is it. So depending on how should I use the word iful, but if you know the person you are drafting for has big butts, you can maybe use 0.5. Alright, so I would label this center front, and then this sign is to show that you'd cut on fold, and this is the seam side. This is the seam side for the back, and this is the center back. So to unfold, it means that you have to fold your fabric when you're cutting the front. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to draft out a pencil skirt from this basic skirt block. If you don't want to do this on the same block, you can just use your tracing wheel to trace out. So I'm using 1 inch, but if you want it to be very penciled, you can use 1.5. So I used 1 inch for mine. I'll show you later how to use 1.5. So this is it. I'm just going to join a slanted line to touch my hip side. Alright, you see the way I did it? So this will make your skirt penciled. So I'm moving over to the back side, and I'm just going to draw out a slanted line to touch the hip side like this. Then I'll blend up with my marker. So this is a pencil skirt. You can decide to use extra ½ inch if you feel that it's not penciled enough. So I'm using a dotted line because that is not actually my original line. So this is it, depending on how pencil you want it to be, but 1.5 is the highest of it. So I'll go ahead to cut now with my paper scissors. I told you before that you should not use the same scissors you use for your fabric, so that you would not spoil it. So a lot of designers do this, and then they end up buying scissors repeatedly. Leave fabric scissors for fabric, leave paper scissors for paper, and attachment scissors for attachments. So don't spoil your scissors. Alright, so I'll cut out all the lines like this. See what I'm doing here? So this is actually a bandless skirt, but you can attach your band to it as the case may be. So guys, this is what I have here. So you see, very easy, very simple. You just label so that you would not complicate, you not get confused when you're applying to your fabric. Alright, so please ensure to add your allowance when you're applying to your fabric. Thank you guys for watching. I love you.